Okay, in this lesson, we'll talk about the distributive property. The distributive property generally says this, that A times the sum of B plus C is equal to A times B plus A times C. The way that I teach this is that this number right here, we're calling it letter A right now. You multiply A times B, that's AB. Then you multiply A times C, AC. And then add them together, and that would give you your product. Okay, so here number one, it says 6 times 10 plus 5 is equal to 6 times 10 plus 6 times 5. Is this true or false? So whatever number is right before the parentheses, that is the number that you're going to distribute to both of the numbers inside of the parentheses. And so we're going to show what I call the rainbow. 6 rainbow 10. That means 6 times 10. And that is what is shown right here, 6 times 10. And then we also use the rainbow from 6 to the second term in parentheses. So 6 times 5. And that is what is shown right here. Okay, if we were to continue this, 6 times 10 is 60, and 6 times 5 is 30. We would go 60 plus 30 to get 90, and that is what 6 times 10 plus 5 is. Now, of course, you could simplify right away and say this is 6 times 15, because that is what 10 plus 5 is, 15. And guess what 6 times 15 is? 90. Okay, but all of this property is telling you is that if you take the number outside the parentheses and multiply it by the first term and the second term, and then add them together, that's going to give you your answer. So number 2 right here, I'm going to distribute the 3. So I have 3 times 2. That's what's shown here. And I should have 3 times 4. I don't have that over here, so I'm going to select false. Right? This should say 3 times 4. 3 times 2 and 3 times 4. Okay? This would be 3 times what's in the parentheses. 2 plus 4 is 6. So I'm expecting that my answer would be 18. Right? So let's continue over here on the right side. 3 times 2 would be 6. And we said that this should be not only 3 times 2, but plus 3 times 4, and 3 times 4 is 12, and guess what 6 plus 12 is? 18, right? So we get 18 on both sides. Number 3, I see a 7 right before the parentheses, so 7 times the sum of 20 plus 8. I'm going to do 7 times 20. That's not what's shown there. Okay, so I'm going to select false. This is not true. This is 7 times 20, not 7 plus 20. It should be 7 times 20. So it should be 7 times 20. Okay, then I do 7 times this term. So since I'm adding here, I'm going to add 7 times 8. So 7 times 8. So right here in red, this is what the right side of the equation should look like. This is not what it looked like up here. That's why I selected false. Okay. So 7 times the first term plus 7 times the second term. Number 4, I'm going to distribute the 4 because it's right next to the parentheses. 4 times 5 is 20. Okay, so that's true. And 4 times 10 is not 10. Okay, so this one's going to be false as well. This should be 4 times 5 is 20, and 4 times 10 is 40. So it should be 40 plus or 20 plus 40 over here, which of course would be 60. So this is not what it says, so I'm going to select false. Last one, number 5. Okay, 2 is right next to the parentheses. I'm going to distribute it to both terms inside the parentheses. So 2 times 6, is that 12? Yes. What about 2 times 11? Is that 22? Yes. So the right side looks like what it should look like, so this is true. All right, so that's a quick little practice on the distributive property. Once you submit, view your score, and you should get them all correct because we did them together. Your other assignment for today is to spend 20 minutes in Mathia. Remember, you go to Clever. To get to math or get to Carnegie Learning. Once you're signed into Clever, of course, you see Amplify, that's science. You want to click on CL, Carnegie Learning. Once you go into your textbook, you'll see a blue Mathia button. You'll click on that blue Mathia button. And Mathia looks like this. Okay, you see your avatar. Some of you may have to do the pre-launch protocol. That box right there may be white with the blue Let's Go button. If you have not completed the pre-launch protocol, you will need to do that first. But once you do the pre-launch protocol, which is basically teaching you how to use Mathia, then this box will open that says composing and decomposing. Okay, and then you click the blue Let's Go button and you'll go in to that what is called workspace. There are these what you can see 4 workspaces. I would like for you to get the first workspace done at least, and some of you may get to the second and the third workspace on the distributed property. Okay, but spend 20 minutes in Mathia today, and in this page it tells you your progress for the session and your total time spent in Mathia. So for your session, that would be today's session, you want 20 minutes in Mathia. Okay, so workspace number 1 is commutative and associative properties. I'll click the blue Let's Go button, and that will take me in to the workspace.